Right. So, good evening, everyone. So, I'll be demonstrating basically how to reference multiple sheets, and I'll be doing that by showing an addition function. So, I have sheets of 2 months, namely January and February, and these sheets contain information regarding the sales of certain products for the 2 months. So I'll be talking about what we should do if we want to add the value of the sales of the 2 months. So these 2 months are basically shown on two different sheets. So how can we add values from two different sheets? So what we need for that is firstly we need a summary sheet as well, in which we can show the sums of the various sales of the products. So we will start off by using a simple addition function. So I'll do that right now. We do this. Then we will go to the first month, that is January. And because we're first doing it for pens, like you can, okay, we're doing it for pencils. So we'll pick the first column. So as you can see in the formula bar, it's showing us January B3. Then we'll just put a comma and we will move it to February. On February, again, we will uh, press B3, which is pens, like that. And we'll just close the parenthesis and press enter. As you can see, in the first column, we've got the sum of the sales of the pencils. Similarly, we can do for the other products as well. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So talking about formulas in Excel, the formulas is again the same functions that we use. And formulas tab makes it more simpler while we use it because we've got all the functions, like sorted functions in the function library. Talking about the auto sum, and then like different kinds of categories like financial, logical, text, deep in time, lookup and reference, math and trigonometry, and a lot more. So in general, there are more than 450 functions that are available in Excel, and formulas that can be used. So starting with the simple ones. So we all know like uh, to uh, to basically sum up the values. Example, if we want to sum all this, we select it and we could just do like the auto sum. And we've got options like either you can go with the sum if you want the total sum of it, or average, or the number of like to count the numbers, like how many cells have been used, and then finding the maximum out of it, the minimum out of it, and like that we've got in general. And then you can also go to more functions in which you can select the category you want. As I've explained before, there are different kinds of categories like financial, date and time, math and trigonometry. So whatever function you want, you can just select out of it and you press OK. So now I just want to sum it. So I go with sum and I press OK. And wait a minute, I select it, auto sum. I find the sum and I get the sum 4,750. It's as simple as that. And so now, example, if I wanna if I want to find the average of it, I click average and I get the average. So yeah, that's it. And then talking about example, yeah, okay. So now uh, we've got the name man. We've got defined names. So what is defined names? So example, if you wanna give this the things that are selected a name, example sales, because it comes under sales. I select it, I go to define name, and I can like automatically, as the heading describes it as sales, there's a name called sales. So I can just like use it and I press OK, and then that's it. And now if I want to find the sum, I could just instead of this go is equal to sum, and I could just press sales, which is already there, and I just have to select it and close it. There you go, enter. So I get the same result. So we can use it for anything. So now as we have a small data, it looks much easier to do just the auto sum thing. But if you're talking about large consolidated data, you guys like naming the files would be easier. And now the thing that I've done was I named one particular column. I can also use like I can select the entire thing and I can create from selection and like to give the headings, either I can go from top row or from the left column. If it's the left column, the different kind of names would be product, pencils, pens, and notebooks. Now, if I'm going through the top row, it would be product and sales. So now I'm going with the left column. I press OK. And so yeah, wait, let me make a small change. So now talking about sum is equal to sum of pencils. So I've got pencils over here. So I click it, I close the bracket, enter. Simple as that. And so that's define names. And then the further would be talking about the placing precedence and difference to be talked about by my teammates. That's it. Thank you.
So, hello everybody. The topic that I'll be discussing upon is about how to calculate two different data sheets. So, as we can see, we have the monthly sales of a stationery firm, and our task is to sum up all the sales of the past 2 months, which is January and February in this case. So, our so to present the new sales report, we have to first open a new sheet. Then on that sheet, we need to go to consolidate and select the first variable that we need to sum up all the first array or data sheet that we need to select. So we'll go to this launch column, launch icon, then go to our sheet one and select sheet one and then select the sales of every product of the firm. And press add. Then then the same we have to do with the February sales. To launch button, to sheet 2, select the sales of every product, then press add. And since we have to calculate, since we have to take all the rows and columns or two, then we select these two buttons and create link to source data. Here we have the summed up report of the 2 months that we have, January and February.
Okay, so hello everyone. The topic that I'll be discussing is multiple cell referencing. So what multiple cell referencing does is it links the data to one sheet from various other sheets. I'll show you that. So the function basically is I've added data validation to this particular cell. And if I change it, I could see the data from other sheets. So if I want to see the data of Andy, I'll see the data from Andy's sheet, which is this. If I want to see Bob's data, it'll give me data from Bob's sheet, and same for Kathy. So this is basic data that I've prepared, which involves the month and the sales, which is like given for that particular person. So how do we do that? For that, we have to use the formula indirect. So first of all, we look the basic formatting of how the cells look. I'll show you. So if you put is equal to and you select some cell from Andy's sheet and you go enter. the basic formatting will be Andy exclamation mark C6. That is the cell number. So for that, we have to use the formula indirect. You put is equal to, then you write indirect, you open brackets, and then you select the cell of the data validation, that is C2, and you freeze the cell so that it doesn't confuse with the cell referencing of the other sheets. You freeze C2, and then you put and like we saw, there is an exclamation mark for referencing the sheet. So you put exclamation mark in double inverted commas, then you put and again, then you put C, because that is the row for the sales. Put and again, so that's the column for the sales. And then for the row reference, you put and then row again, and then choose the month, choose this cell, that is January, B5. And then you enter. As soon as you'll enter, you'll get the data, and all you have to do is drag and drop them. So you'll get the data. And now, if you change from Andy to Bob, you'll get data from Bob's sheet. If you change it to Kathy, you'll get data from Kathy's sheet. So if we want to write another example, we'll do that. Okay. So we'll write, for example, Dorothy's sales numbers. And like I said, same format for her as well. And we'll change the values. We put something random. For that, we'll use formula rand between 10,000 to 1. To drag and drop. Yes. Yes. And so that the values don't change, we'll copy the values and we'll do paste special as values, because the formula ran between, the values tend to change again and again. So now the values won't change. So now that we have done this, and if we go to our main sales sheet and we do data validation again, right, comma, we'll rename the sheet also. And now if we see, we go to sales, and we go to Dorothy, we'll get Dorothy's data from Dorothy's sheet. So this is pretty much it. This was multiple cell referencing. This is very useful in our day-to-day Excel work. There was another topic that was assigned to us, but now because I have a Mac, I can't have access to that function. That's called watch window. So what watch window does is, so if you have a very long set of data, and the data at the very right is dependent on the data at the very left of the screen. So basically, if you have, let's say, supposedly you have used the function sum at the very end of the data, and the data from the left adds up till the very end to the right. And if you are changing data at the left, you can't see the data change at the very right of the sheet. So you have to again and again scroll and then see the data, right? So what watch window does is, watch window is a function that you can find in the formulas tab and watch window. So for watch window, you have to select the cells at the very end, and you have to put a watch on it using this function. So what will happen is, if you change the data here, you can you can actually see the data change in that particular point of time through the watch window. So this function is also very useful, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.